Corner. Today I'm so excited to bring you guys another book review. This is for a fiction book. It's called Pastors' Wives by Takeuchi Cullen. Pastors' Wives follows three women whose lives converge and intertwine at a Southern evangelical megachurch. Ruthie follows her Wall Street husband from New York to Magnolia, a suburb of Atlanta, when he hears a calling to serve at a megachurch called Greenleaf. Reeling from the death of her mother, Ruthie suffers a crisis of faith in God, in her marriage, and in herself. Candace is Greenleaf's first lady, a force of nature who will stop at nothing to protect her church and her husband. Ginger, married to Candace's son, struggles to play dutiful wife and mother while burying her calamitous past. When their lives collide during a fateful event that threatens the survival of all that is precious to them, each will ask herself, what is the price of loving a man of God? When I requested this book, there was a notice in the email that basically said something like, this isn't your typical Christian book. Even though this book is about pastors' wives, I have to tell you that there is some language and certain situations in this book that readers of clean fiction may find offensive. What interested me most about this book is when I learned that the author was a writer for Time magazine who had done an actual investigation into the lives of real-life pastors' wives. I have been a preacher's kid for most of my life. My dad surrendered to the ministry when I was around 7 years old, and now I am married to a pastor. So having known tons of pastors' wives and been around them my entire life, I was curious to see if the author was going to give a fair look into the lives of these women, even though this is a work of fiction. I was just really curious. And after reading this book, I have to say that I absolutely feel like the author did give an honest look into the lives of some pastors' wives. Now, are all pastors' wives like these women? Absolutely not. But some, yes. I love that she portrayed a variation through the three characters in this book. Candace is absolutely the go-getter, 100% behind her husband, fully on board, sometimes controlling, often overbearing pastor's wife. And then there's Ginger, who has basically an attitude that faith found her and not the other way around. Ginger is Candace's daughter-in-law, and she feels a little bit out of place and not totally on board with her husband being a pastor. And then there's Ruthie, the newbie, who is just learning the ropes, trying to find her footing in this world that is completely new to her of pastors' wives. All three of these women are involved in the same church, and I thought it was really interesting to see the various point of view through these characters' eyes in their thoughts and in the things they did, just seeing the differences in their attitude and the way they handled situations and things like that. The writing style in this book is really good. It really sucks you in. It flows really good. It's almost just like observing or having a conversation with somebody. I even found myself really liking these characters. Yes, even Candace, who I said is overbearing and controlling at times. I don't think the author in any way wrote these characters to belittle or ridicule real-life pastors' wives, though some readers may feel that she did. I know some women in my own life who basically told their husbands, you know, if you answer the call, if you surrender to the ministry, then I'm going to leave you. As well as some women who are exactly like Candace. What I chose to take away from this book, and what I hope other readers get from it as well, is simply to not judge others, because we don't know the whole story. We don't know their motivation. We don't know their heart. We don't know what they've been through, and we don't know why they're doing what they're doing. I have absolutely myself been guilty of looking at pastors and pastors' wives of megachurches and, you know, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on a workout complex. Just thinking, you know, couldn't that money have been spent in a different way? Couldn't that money have been sent to, like, starving kids in Africa or something. The next time that I'm tempted to do that, I hope that I remember the story in John chapter 12. In that Bible story, there was a woman who came to Jesus and poured out her most prized possession on him. It was an ointment that was highly valuable in that time. And someone asked a question, why wasn't this ointment sold and the money given to the poor? Well, you know what Jesus said? Leave her alone. And do you know the person that raised the money question in that story was Judas, the betrayer? The truth is, God is the judge of all men, women, and pastors' wives. So as the Bible says, let us judge ourselves and not one another. I give Pastors' Wives by Takeuchi Cullen 4 out of 5 stars. I say the reason it is a 4 out of 5 and not a 5 out of 5 is purely because of the language and, as I said, certain other things that keep this book from just being a clean Christian read. This has been my review of Pastors' Wives by Takeuchi Cullen. From JoJo's Corner, until next time, happy reading! Bye, everybody! So as the Bible says, let us judge one another. No, it doesn't say that. It doesn't say let us judge one another.